Greetings, schools, and welcome back to another talk about horror television. Tonight we're taking a look at a new series for the channel. It's called The Haunting Hour, and if it has R.L. Stine attached and both creators of Night Visions, I think we're in great hands and we have a lot to look forward to. The show first aired from 2010 to 2014 on the Hub network, before moving its last season to the Discovery Family channel. The series is brand new to me, but I purchased a few DVDs to check it out, so let's get right into it. The first episode I'm covering is called Pumpkinhead, because how could I not? Every day is Halloween when you're in the spooky creepy club. We open up and we're at a nice suburban home. The leaves are falling. It's fall time. Attached to the telephone pole is a missing child poster. A boy named Eric Ross went missing on Halloween the previous year. Inside the home, there are 3 kids and a busy bee mom unpacking groceries. She works at the hospital as a doctor or nurse, and tonight she has a second shift to go to, so her oldest is in charge, which is Allie. Then there's the well-behaved younger boy, Dave, who's excited to carve jack-o'-lanterns, and his older brother and middle child, Scott. Scott's feisty and defiant, which sounds about right for a middle child at age 14. We got some sad news for Dave. They only had a really sad looking little pumpkin. Mom lets us know a lot of people aren't decorating or celebrating tonight in light of what happened last year. The townspeople are still horrified that a young boy went missing. Mom is heading out and she won't be back until after midnight. The kids are going to trick or treat at the school tonight, so they're safe and sound, which has mixed opinions with the kids. They think it isn't scary or very fun. Allie has a friend coming over after 6 p.m. tonight. Scott is so mad that he can't go out after dark, even though his mom told him he could the year prior before all of the bad stuff happened. But it isn't safe. So with Mom gone, Scott cons everyone into going to an off-limits pumpkin patch that's on private property. An old, creepy farmer named Mr. Palmer grows a lot of pumpkins on his land, which happens to be on the same road the child went missing last year. Coincidence? I don't think so, ghouls. The little guy loves pumpkins, and he can't wait to be deep in the pumpkin patch fun. The kids are mesmerized by all of the purty pumpkins. There's big ones, gross wormy ones, all types. Then Scott finds a sketchy looking shed that he insists that they explore. It seems like a terrible idea to me, but of course, all of them enter. Look at the freaky Pumpkinhead. They creep around, and they spot even more Pumpkinheads. I love it, but that's some truly scary stuff for a young audience. Allie and Dave are the first ones to want to leave, and they're out of there. They go to look for a great pumpkin, and that's about the time that Scott spots a burlap sack covering what appears to be either a pumpkin or a decapitated head or something spooky. Before the boy can reach down and check it out, the front door to Mr. Palmer's farm slams shut, alerting the kids that they're seconds away from being caught. Of course, Scott falls into a deep hole that he can't get his way out of, and the children are caught trespassing. The kids apologize and claim they didn't know this was private property. The man tells them they're gonna be sorry, real sorry. The farmer reaches down and feels Scott's melon head, and he says it isn't ripe. Then he helps him escape the pit, and the children carry on, but not before the farmer tells them to never come back to this property. And the little jerks, they had to steal 2 pumpkins on their way out. I don't know about you guys, but really, he just shaped up your melon head and said it wasn't ripe enough, and you're gonna steal from the scary dude? That's enough of a red flag for me to be far out of there, man. Anyway, the children make their way back home. They have an hour left to wrap up their pumpkin carving festivities. Scott is insane. He wants to go back to the old farmer's property, which I don't understand. He claims everyone in this town is a big wimp that forgot the true meaning of Halloween, which is to be scary and do scary stuff. There's some creepy clawed figures lurking around the outside of their home, which is not a great sign for these kooky, unsupervised children. Dave is finished carving the lid to the first pumpkin, and when he sticks his hand in to retrieve the pumpkin guts and seeds, he's met with a fistful of creepy, scary worms, which he throws to the counter, causing Allie to screech like bloody murder. Scott carves open the second pumpkin, and it's normal looking at first. That is until they find a tooth, a human tooth, in the pumpkin. That's a bad omen, little buddies. They decide it's time to throw the pumpkins in a trash bag, and they put the cursed fruits outside. So the kids put on their costumes. The young boy is zombie Justin Bieber. Scott is a bloody medical professional. And Allie, well, she's a pirate. Arr! It's been so long since I've dressed up in a cool costume. Let me know in the comments what you're going to dress up as this year. I'd love some costume inspiration. The kids walk to school to trick or treat, and it appears they're being watched by the same clawed entity. The kids get home that night, and Scott is being insane again. He mentions he wants to go start trouble and cause some havoc at the old man's farm. What a troublemaker this guy is. Scott's in charge of making sure the microwave popcorn doesn't burn while Allie and Dave watch a movie in the room over. Scott hears a noise behind him, and then he notices some pumpkin guts on the floor. Some fresh, wet pumpkin guts. When he turns around, he sees my worst nightmare. The lights go out, and a gang of Pumpkinheads put a sack over his head and take him off into the night before anyone notices. The kids in the living room go to check on Scott and the popcorn, and Allie is mad. The lights are out and the front door is wide open, and Scott is nowhere to be found. She suspects that he went back to the old farmer's house like he had been threatening to do throughout the episode. So they hop in the car and go down to the pumpkin patch to look for Scott. And it is way creepier at nighttime. Look at this place. The Pumpkinheads are out there somewhere, and ooh, there one is. Guys, I don't like this one bit. She enters the creepy shed, and we cut back to the little one in the car doing his best to stay calm. Allie is exploring the horrendously spooky Pumpkinhead shed, and any second we know one of them is going to pop out and scare us half to death. The slow crawl through the shed had me uncomfortable as possible because honestly, what is even going on at this farm? I don't know, but nothing good. There's Pumpkinhead sitting on the chair, and it looks a lot like the outfit Scott was wearing before he got abducted. When it twists towards her, she screams her head off and she jolts out of the shed. When she exits, she sees a Pumpkinhead coming towards her, so she runs in the opposite direction. She runs and runs and runs before falling over one of those strange sacks on the ground. So she uncovers the sack, and it's a pumpkin, but with eyeballs. Another type of Pumpkinhead, if you will. So she's encircled by the monsters and the farmer now. He told them to never come back here, and that if they did, they'd be sorry. And he wasn't kidding. The pumpkin people come closer and closer, and Allie yells her head off. There's no use. We cut to her sweet, sleeping brother, and he's spotted by, you guessed it, a Pumpkinhead. Whoa, that's a seriously spooky tale. I'm very, very impressed. I'm going to rate this one a perfect 10 out of 10 for the series The Haunting Hour. This show is awesome from what I've seen so far, and this one really sticks out as a fan favorite. Halloween-themed horror is amazing, Pumpkinheads are awesome, and guys, this one did not end in a sweet, feel-good way. This got dark quickly. Yikes. I'm really interested in hearing what you guys think of this episode and series if you're familiar with it. The writing was fast-paced and wonderfully sharp. There wasn't a slow bit in the entire episode, which is really, really impressive. The acting was spot on as well. Every one of them felt real and relatable, which was great. The locations really stood out to me in this one. Like they're perfectly fitting and a joy to look at. The pumpkin patch was beautiful in the daytime and even more impressive at nighttime. I really, really liked the foggy, cool night shots at the pumpkin patch. What a creepy and amazing setting. Cinematography stood out in this one too. There was a few creative shots in this one that felt fun. They relied heavily on the monster POV shots, which added a sense of fright that I liked without exposing what the Pumpkinheads looked like. Sometimes the camera was a bit shaky and handheld for me, but it still made for an incredible overall effect. Well done to everyone involved. And finally, it's time to thank my sweet, sweet patrons. Thank you all so much for helping me out and letting me focus on creating new content for you guys full time. I love what I do, and I couldn't do it without all of you who show up for me every upload. Thank you all so much. If you'd like to help the channel financially, you can do so over on Patreon, where there's a bunch of exclusive content available only to patrons. It's the best way to help out if you can afford to lend a helping hand. But that's all I got for you with this one. Be well and stay spooky.